Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Monday, May 4, 2026. Making the headlines tonight, police confirmed speeding was a factor in Hattieville RTA that claimed 2 lives every weekend. Minister Fonseca proceeds on medical leave after heart surgery. Senator says women being forced to choose between violence and homelessness. And sargassum surge speeding up erosion in Placencia. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
As a small business, I started to attend pop-up shops like many other businesses, and we found that our customers wanted to pay by card and not cash. I went to Atlantic Bank, and immediately, without a problem, it's like, yes, you can have a POS system. That POS system we now use in-house, and we can also take it countrywide wherever we are. They were willing to take the time. They were willing to be patient with us as we grew our business, and that, for us, that meant the world.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
Have a vision? We've got what you need. From idea to install, Brothers Habet, all your building needs under one roof.
It was less than 4 years ago that the Belize Fund opened its doors and awarded grants under its first grant cycle. And that grant cycle focused a lot on marine protected areas, ocean conservation, and giving support to those, primarily to our co-managers and well-established entities.
These projects together reflect our shared vision, not only about the Belize Fund, not only about these communities, but of Belize on a whole. And importantly, they reinforce the idea that lasting impact is not achieved in isolation, but it's achieved through collaboration, shared responsibility, and an enduring partnership.
For this grant, we are building a compliance and stewardship circle to be able to engage those stakeholders It gives an informal platform for those stakeholders to be able to share with us what challenges are they having on the ground, what are they seeing on the ground with respect to fisheries management, to share with us what solutions they may have.
The barrier that my business has reached is the ability to produce as much as my customers order, but the space that I've been using for the last decade is the space under my house. I've been personally investing in building a larger facility so I could produce more soap, but it takes forever. So with this project, Belize Fund is helping me finish the entire building. It's an investment in positivity, man. It's an investment in local businesses. Because for me, it's not just my business, because every ingredient comes from a different, smaller business. And so it's all of us together get a boost to increase productivity here in Belize. A rising tide lifts all boats, so all we could come up together.
Belize, your voice is shaping our future. The Ministry of E-Governance is hosting National ID Project public consultations, and we're coming to you. Orange Walk, you're up first. Thursday, April 23rd at Central Park, 6 p.m. Come, learn, share, and help build a better ID system for all Belizeans. Then Belize City, it's your turn. Join us Friday, April 24th at the Biltmore Plaza at 5:30 p.m. Show up, speak up, because your voice matters in creating a smarter, more connected Belize.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. A devastating multi-vehicle accident along the George Price Highway in the Bainesville area of Hattieville Police District on Saturday evening claimed the lives of two men. The deceased have been identified as Glenn Lamb Jr. and Nelson Hemsley. The collision involved a Ford Transit van, a Ford Escape, and a motorcycle. One of the vehicles was returning from the National Agricultural and Trade Show in Belmopan when the incident occurred. The accident left several others injured, including multiple employees of Belize Telemedia Limited, BTL, who were traveling in the van. While the BTL employees were transported to the hospital with varying injuries, their conditions were described as non-life-threatening. Today, ACP Gilberto Romero revealed that the preliminary investigation suggests the drivers were speeding.
On the arrival, they saw two vehicles, a Ford van and a black Ford Escape, along with a motorcycle that had damages. Found trapped inside a SUV were two persons who were identified as Nelson Hemsley and Glenn Lamb. They were seen motionless. The driver of the van was identified as Chadwick Isagiri, and the driver of the motorcycle, David Lambe. Information is that the black SUV hit the motorcycle first, or thereafter swerved into the lane of the oncoming van, causing a head-on collision. Hemsley and Lamb were taken to the KHMH, where they were pronounced dead on arrival. An investigation is being carried out into this fatal road traffic accident. The information we have, yes, they were speeding, but we will await the urine sample results to determine if alcohol was a factor.
Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade, Education, Culture, Science and Technology, Honorable Francis Fonseca has proceeded on leave reportedly for 2 weeks after undergoing heart surgery at the Carl Hirschner Memorial Hospital. While no additional details were provided moments ago, the Office of the Prime Minister notified that the medical procedure was successful and that, quote, the Honorable Minister will proceed on a period of medical leave. The Cabinet extends best wishes for a full and speedy recovery to Minister Fonseca, end quote. At the conclusion of last week's two-day Senate session, NGO Senator Janelle Chinona delivered an impassioned and emotional appeal for parliamentarians to take meaningful action to address gender-based violence. Her plea came in the wake of the viral video showing a child being attacked by his stepfather as he tried to defend his mother.
It's also another type of heartbreak when you have to witness the condemnation of the woman involved and even of the children in these situations, instead of the ones who caused the harm, instead of the attackers. And those comments, colleagues, that have been leveraged against women in these situations are so startling, scarily so, especially for me as a woman when I see that they're being written by other women. And so from the pieces of that heartbreak, I call on all of us to reconcile that that video confirms another reality as well. Not only has that child been hit before, because he didn't cry, but he stood up again to defend his mother. And that is what shook me to my core, because if that little Belizean can look at that towering figure above him with a baseball bat and knew what was coming, and he still stood up there in his little pajamas and defended his mother, then why can't I stand? Why can't we all stand for all the Belizeans that are standing up even when the blows land? And I'll say this, and please hear me clearly. Not all males are men. You are not a man if you punch a woman in her stomach who is pregnant with your child until that child dies. You are not a man if you rape and abuse another person just because you can. You are not a man if you can mentally abuse someone until they start contemplating thoughts of suicide and think they are less than what you are doing to them. Psychological violence is the most widespread form of violence used against women, and at the same time, it is the least recognized form of abuse. What can be our next steps? And as legislators, this is where we go. I'm asking for us to consider a commission of a national assessment of existing shelter capacity and other service gaps, to create an emergency funding mechanism that allows social workers and frontline organizations to respond quickly without bureaucratic delays when a woman's safety is at risk. In the medium term, we must commit to building a more structured and inclusive system, at least one fully resourced, state-supported national shelter with a professional staff, clear standards, and of course, ample security.
Placencia has two critical problems impacting its shoreline, and stakeholders in the tourist destination are worried about its future. The creeping problem of erosion is being sped up by sargassum. Recent images show how the beach in some areas is being gobbled up. The sargassum influx started as early as January this year, and it is expected to be worse than last year. Former Placencia Village Chairman Charles Leslie points to a systemic failure in addressing the problem. He says the Village Council is being asked to protect nationally important tourism coastline without the resources, capacity, or coordinated support needed to do so.
People come to sit, eat, enjoy the beach, enjoy the village, and then the smell hits them. Some walk away. That is money lost. That is reputation damaged. That is public health being treated too casually. That is a tourism product being allowed to suffer in plain sight. Placencia is not some forgotten corner of Belize. This peninsula is one of the engines of our tourism economy. Yet, when something as basic as sargassum management becomes urgent, what happens? Some people will say, but there is a sargassum task force. If there is a sargassum task force, then the public should understand what it is responsible for. Having a structure on paper is one thing. Having equipment ready, fuel available, workers paid, transport arranged, disposal sites prepared, and clear responsibility on the ground is another thing entirely. When businesses are affected, when residents are smelling decay in their homes, suddenly everything becomes complicated. That is how serious destinations decay, not all at once, but through delays, excuses, underfunding, and nobody being clearly responsible. Placencia needs a standing coastal response system, not a scramble every time the beach, the sea, or the sargassum creates a problem. The deeper question is the same. Who is properly resourcing Placencia to protect the coastline that Belize profits from? And to be clear, this is not about saying Placencia is more important than every other community in Belize. It is about recognizing that high-pressure tourism zones require high-functioning maintenance and coastal response systems.
The Village Council is planning an emergency meeting this week, which it hopes will be attended by key players, including central government officials. After the break, household inspection concerns delay OSH bill passage. Stay with us.
Look here, your kitchen light there and never in the kitchen. But I'm going back in there right now. And the coffee maker?
Just to try to keep my coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think more to eat.
You know the more you open and close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool. For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I help you out right now. When I this daily, for 10 days, I am going after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
The Occupational Safety and Health OSH bill was held in committee following the Senate meeting last week. Minister of Labor Honorable Kareem Musa discussed the delay. The primary point of contention involves the inclusion of domestic workers who are employed within private households and the logistics and privacy implications of inspecting private residences to ensure compliance with OSH standards. Despite this roadblock, Musa expressed optimism that the delay will be minor.
I hope that is only a hiccup, but the issue that is raised is one specific issue, that is domestic workers in households. So the legislation, as it is currently drafted, covers domestics who work for companies, domestics who work for the government. But in terms of enforcing and inspecting households, because we're looking now at domestics working in households, it was discussed that, like I said, all the consultations, that might have been something very difficult. We're not against reviewing it at all. If it is a position after hearing all the facts and hearing all the deliberations that the senators believe should be made an amendment, they have the power to make that amendment and propose it to us. But at the time it was considered, when the final draft was made, it seemed a bit unreasonable that every single household can be inspected in terms of domestics. There will still be the requirement in terms of protecting domestics who work in households, but to include it in the law as one of the inspection sites for all the labor officers, it's a lot.
Minister of Labor Honorable Kareem Musa was also asked to weigh in on the discussion about prescription requirements for birth control and what would happen if women were to request time off from work to obtain birth control prescriptions if the policy is implemented after 12 months. Musa expressed gratitude for the transition period, noting that there are still questions about implementation that need to be addressed before it can move forward. When asked if he supports the policy, he expressed that women should ultimately have the final say in regulations affecting their bodies, adding that the policy currently appears to be unpopular among the women it would impact.
I think the Ministry of Health made the right decision in shelving that. Hopefully longer than a year. It is going to be a review process. But yes, those are the kinds of questions that will need to be answered by the Ministry and the Labor Department in terms of offering time off to go to the doctor to get your prescription, yes. But that's not right now, and hopefully that's not something we'll have to do.
So you don't support the requirement?
I hear the argument from the professionals, the healthcare professionals, but I prefer to hear the argument of the women who it affects. And they have said loud and clear and resoundingly that they understand their bodies better than any man can, so I won't even attempt to understand it because I'm not an expert. Neither am I a healthcare professional expert, but at the end of the day, I think we have to listen to our women.
Minister of Health and Wellness Honorable Kevin Bernard recently announced that his ministry would explore banning Red Top and other similar cheap, strong alcoholic products. On Friday, Honorable Kareem Musa said he agrees something must be done as alcohol abuse is a major issue. He suggested,
I would be lying if I didn't say I see the damage caused by Red Top in our country, by alcohol on a whole. It's not just Red Top. I think at the very least it should be taxed. It shouldn't be so accessible and so cheap. So that's something, because we are reviewing right now tax laws. That is something that I should see as in tax, in my opinion.
In police news, police are investigating the discovery of the body of a male found floating in Hollover Creek around 8:30 Friday morning in Belize City. The body was reportedly spotted near the parking lot of a water taxi company on North Front Street. Police are investigating the identity of the deceased and the circumstances surrounding the death. ACP Gilberto Romero said police are seeking the public's assistance in identifying the man.
Okay, on Friday, the first day of May, police responded to a report that a body was found in the water by the Belize San Pedro Express water taxi. The body was retrieved. It was seen as a male person in his 30s. He's about 5 feet 6 inches in height, of Creole descent. We are seeking the public's assistance in identifying this person. As so far, no missing person has been made, and the body has not been identified.
Was there any form of fault?
Well, he had minor bruising to the face, but we will await a post-mortem examination to determine his cause of death.
ACP Gilberto Romero today provided an update on the fatal shooting of Zeta Corporation Limited employee Roberto Villafranco on Tuesday on the Pine Ridge Road, just outside Orange Walk Town. His co-worker Felipe Vasquez was also injured in the incident. ACP Romero told the media that police believe the incident was a targeted shooting and not a case of robbery.
On the 3rd of April, police responded to a shooting incident at Pine Ridge Road in Orange Walk. Upon arrival, they saw the lifeless body of a male person identified as Roberto Villafranco, and he was seen with gunshot injuries. Also seen was another male person who was a sideman of a truck at the time. Roberto Villafranco was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Information is that both were called to that area by an unknown caller who had asked for water. When they arrived, as soon as the driver stepped out, he was shot. We had one suspect in custody, but he has been released after investigation. An investigation continues into have established that it was not a robbery, it was a targeted shooting.
A police officer currently on interdiction for previous sexual offenses has been arrested following allegations that he raped his 10-year-old niece multiple times over the period of a year. The officer was already facing interdiction for allegedly having unlawful sexual intercourse with a 14-year-old girl on several occasions. The latest incident came to light after the minor reported the abuse in the presence of a social worker in Dangriga, Stan Creek. Subsequent medical examinations have confirmed that the child was raped. The officer was in custody, awaiting formal charges. After the break, Shine marks historic musical return at Brooklyn's King's Theater. Stay tuned.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
In May, make Benny's your one-stop shop for appliances. We have Sankey refrigerators, stoves, microwaves, washers and dryers, freezers, smart TVs, and so much more for up to 19% off. Get amazing deals for mom and appliances all May long, and don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make a purchase to be a part of our Homecation raffle to win $10,000 in December. Benny's, quality and savings.
It was less than 4 years ago that the Belize Fund opened its doors and awarded grants under its first grant cycle. And that grant cycle focused a lot on marine protected areas, ocean conservation, and giving support to those, primarily to our co-managers and well-established entities.
These projects together reflect our shared vision, not only about the Belize Fund, not only about these communities, but of Belize on a whole. And importantly, they reinforce the idea that lasting impact is not achieved in isolation, but it's achieved through collaboration, shared responsibility, and an enduring partnership.
For this grant, we are building a compliance and stewardship circle to be able to engage those stakeholders. It gives an informal platform for those stakeholders to be able to share with us what challenges are they having on the ground, what are they seeing on the ground with respect to fisheries management, to share with TASA what solutions they may have.
The barrier that my business has reached is the ability to produce as much as my customers order, but the space that I've been using for the last decade is the space under my house. I've been personally investing in building a larger facility so I could produce more soap, but it takes forever. So with this project, Belize Fund is helping me finish the entire building. It's an investment in positivity, man. It's an investment in local businesses. Because for me, it's not just my business, because every ingredient comes from a different, smaller business. And so it's all of us together get a boost to increase productivity here in Belize. A rising tide lifts all boats, so all we could come up together.
In a momentous homecoming performance, Moses Shine Barrow returned to the musical stage on Saturday night at the historic King's Theater in Brooklyn, New York. Celebrating the 25th anniversary of his self-titled debut album, the sold-out concert marked Shine's first headlining show in the neighborhood where he grew up. The event followed a week of high honors for the rapper turned politician, who was recently presented with the keys to Brooklyn and saw April 25th officially declared Shine Day in Brooklyn. Saturday night's performance also served as a major platform for the showcasing of Belizean talent and culture on the global stage. Belizean artist Dig the Artist, who has been under Shine's wing as a protege, was the show's opening act. Echoing past high-profile appearances where the Belizean flag was prominently displayed, the show emphasized Shine's stage-to-state journey, blending his international music legacy with his identity as a Belizean politician. The concert is the first major step in a planned 2026 global tour and a broader comeback that includes new music and upcoming film projects. After 34 years of service, Spirit Airlines officially began a wind down of its global operations effective Saturday, May 2, after a $500 million US federal bailout stalled. The ultra-low-cost carrier, which recently emerged from restructuring, cited unsustainable jet fuel costs and years of financial instability as primary reasons for the closure. All scheduled flights have been canceled, and the airline has pledged to automatically process refunds for tickets via credit or debit cards, advising passengers not to travel to airports. The Philip Golson International Airport, on its social media accounts, directed ticket holders to visit spiritrestructuring.com for more information. The shutdown is expected to cause a significant ripple effect for Belize's tourism industry and regional travel costs. Spirit had recently announced new flights from its Fort Lauderdale hub to Belize City, providing a critical low-cost link for travelers between Florida and Central America. Aviation experts warned that the removal of Spirit's competitive pricing could lead to an immediate spike in fares on Caribbean and Central American routes, with some historical data suggesting a jump of up to 70% in markets where ultra-low-cost carriers exit. Other carriers like JetBlue, Frontier, Delta, United, and American Airlines have begun offering rescue fares to assist stranded passengers, but a full replacement of Spirit seats capacity is not expected immediately. In more police news, a Belize City man identified as Cash Burns is reportedly fighting for his life after being injured in a shooting incident on George Street, Belize City on Sunday evening. Burns was immediately transported to the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, where he remains in critical condition. Today, ACP Gilberto Romero said police believe he was the intended target.
On the arrival, they learned that someone had been shot and the person drove to the KHMH for treatment. Police went to the KHMH where they saw Cash Burns with several gunshot injuries. He reported that he was in his vehicle and he was fired upon by a male person and he received several injuries. Cash Burns remains at the KHMH in a critical condition at this time. The only information is that he had an incident days before at Pongyard with some other persons over a vehicle.
Last Monday, the body of Francisco Garcia was discovered after family members reported him missing. Garcia, who lived on his farm in Santa Marta, Orange Walk, was observed with chop wounds to his body. Today, ASP Gilberto Romero told the media that police are seeking 2 suspects for questioning.
On Monday, the 27th of April, police responded to a report in Santa Marta in the Orange Walk district where a person had been reported missing. Thereafter, a family member found the missing person. He was identified as Francisco Garcia, a farmer of Santa Marta. Garcia was seen with several chop wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Information is that he was taking care of his farm when he was attacked by persons unknown. An investigation is being carried out and we are seeking 2 persons of interest who can assist with this investigation.
And 10 motorcycles were reported stolen over the weekend from the designated parking lot of the National Agriculture and Trade Show NATS in Belmopan. The thefts occurred throughout the 3-day event, with the culprits seemingly targeting certain models of bikes. Police are investigating the incidents. And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on the station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the news. And remember, you can always catch up with the day's top stories on our YouTube channel and Facebook page under XTV Belize. And you can watch the evening news live on our XTV BHNI app. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.